Got everything set up. Got it displaying live. Hey guys, welcome in tonight. We're pretty informal here, guys. If you got a quiet background and want to unmute or whatever and open discussion, it's all good. Welcome, JJ, ADJ, Peter M. All right, it's 7 o'clock, so it's time to get started here. We'll wait just a few more minutes here, guys, while we got a few more people coming in. We got about 13 more people are reserved here for seats, so I'll just wait a couple more minutes, let everybody get settled in. Welcome to tonight's event. Hope everybody ate plenty of turkey yesterday. I know I did. Still eating it today. Can everybody see my screen? Can everybody hear me? Haven't heard any feedback yet. Okay, yeah, see, I'm opening up my chat here. Y'all can hear me all right. Thank you for the response, everybody. We're going to be talking about our new CVD, B4 CVD, and our new B4 Wave. And of course, our B4 CoPilot Pro version 8 tonight. Guys, those of you who are regular members, if you haven't downloaded the new version, go ahead and log into your portals, and you should have a version 3.02, I believe, of the new tool package. So we had a question the other day. One of the users asked, said, "Well, Chuck, I'm looking for the B4 version 8." Well, the way it's, it is CoPilot, looking for the B4 CoPilot Pro version 8. It is version 8 of the CoPilot Pro, but this is the third release of the tool packet where we put them all together in one pack. All of our tools, all in one downloadable package, and this is version 3 or so of that. So that's what you'll see when you go to download. And when you download and install this, you'll have to fill in your form with all of your information, your machine ID and stuff like that. You'll have to resubmit that. Another thing to keep in mind, if you already have this tool packet on your computer, you need to uninstall it. Uninstall the tools, and then download them and reinstall them. Now this screen looks really busy. Barb would be having a nightmare if he saw all. He likes a really clean screen. He'd be having a nightmare if I had all this on here at one time and showed him this. He would. Barbaros, if you don't know, he's our lead developer and head trader here at B4, and he's my partner. All right, guys, it's 7:05. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Again, welcome everybody. My name is Chuck. I'm one of the co-founders here at B4. I was the one who put together initially the B4 indicator. And that's what started all this. I was struggling, trying to learn how to trade, and I've been trading for a while at the time, trying to get successful at it, and I decided I was going to teach myself how to code. I locked myself in a room for about 2 weeks. Didn't come out till I had an indicator, and it was the B4 indicator. Initially, whenever I released it, got with Barb, and Barb actually, so when I met Barb, actually was kind enough, the only one really kind enough to actually offer some help on it. Now, I was doing good with it. I was just, trading with it and doing fairly well with it, and I wanted to give it back to everybody. I was on a forum, and I was so grateful to find that forum, and I ended up reaching out and saying, look, I got a good indicator here. It's doing good for me, and can somebody who knows what they're looking at take a look at this thing and look over the code? And Barb was the only one that was kind enough to do that, and that's how I met Barb. And he touched it up and tweaked it a little bit, and really didn't have to do a whole lot to it. And shortly thereafter, around 75,000 people downloaded that indicator, from my guesstimation. We didn't have a tracking system, but I had 75,000 or so individual comments from different people. I think every one of them probably downloaded that indicator. So anyway, that's how we got started here, and we've been going strong ever since. It's been about 4 years now. We've come a long way from the original B4 indicator. We have a lot of methods and trading techniques that we teach here at B4. I'm going to be going over our chart tonight. This is our B4 CoPilot Pro. You'll see that we're a Ninja Trader right now. And this is a strategy. B4 CoPilot Pro is a strategy, and it's over here. It's enabled right here. Let me unenable it. Right there, you'll see. What you're seeing here without the CoPilot Pro is our B4 Footprint Pro, which is order flow. I'll zoom out a little bit, let you see that. You can see the footprint charts right there on each one of these candles. You can see this this bottom row, this footer here. In fact, we'll go ahead and take everything off the screen and add it on one at a time. I'll keep on opening strategies. Sorry, need to be opening indicators. That's the footprint. I'm going to remove it. That's the B4 wave. I'm going to remove it. That's the B4 CVD. I'm going to remove it. What we're seeing right now are B4 bars. This is a Unirenko style trading bar. It really simplifies things. You're either moving up or you're moving down. It's pretty simple. It really makes things simple. It's especially used by beginner traders and advanced traders alike. I've come to where, yes, I know the traditional candlestick analysis, and I enjoy the candlestick analysis, and I always got a 3-minute chart open. Even whenever I'm trading live and I'm displaying only this chart, I always have supplemental charts open, and I'm looking at candlestick analysis, price action. You should be able to trade. Anybody who's trading should be able to look at a candlestick, know the candlestick patterns, understand where support and resistance areas are by looking left, and be able to make a rough analysis of the chart. If you can't do those fundamental things, you really don't have a whole lot of business even trading in the first place. That's the root. That's the things you need to crawl before you can even walk. You really need to learn how to do those things. And again, we're looking at the B4 bars here. These are a Unirenko style bar, and that's just the bare chart. Let's go in and take a look at that with our CoPilot Pro. So we're going to go to strategies. Now I'm going to the wrong. We'll go here, boom, add to CoPilot Pro. Now I have some templates here. I'm going to load one of those templates. And we're going to go with the divergence and unfinished off. Two of my favorite order flow signals are the session divergence. Not the session divergence, but the delta divergence, and the unfinished auction. I'm going to go ahead and choose that. Two of the main things here. Of course, you want your session time set up, your trading time set up, your trading days set up, your break even settings. I have it on continuous. You got different options there. You can have it on paused, and you may want to start at pause to start with, and you can change it on the fly and put it to continuous or single. Most people are safer using the single, starting it at pause and using single. Got once a day. That's mainly for people who want to test a strategy where you got do a back test and you want to run it in the strategy analyzer and see, hey, what will this do if it takes one trade a day? That's basically what that's for. Most people won't do that and take one trade a day. Then you have continuous mode. You have different market conditions that you could set through the settings for. One would be trending, one would be ranging, and one would be auto detect. We recommend most times when people start trading here to go ahead and use that on trending. You got the strategy signal synergy here. So what happens is that when we open up, we're going to have a library here with a bunch of different signals. And you can allow a filter to come through to have synergy with those signals. Maybe you only want to take a trade when 3 of those things fire, when 4 of those things fire in a candle. It gives you layers of confluence within the signals. And so it has X or more, and we're saying 3. So we're letting it come through with 3 signals firing. Then, of course, we have the long and short. You maybe you only want to take long, maybe you only want to take short trades. Going with the trend or whatever. You don't want to take counter trend. All the stuff will be available here whenever we open up, and you can do it on the fly and adjust all these settings on the fly in your chart trader interface here. But we'll get to that in a minute. We have options that you could take at an opposite signal. When an opposite signal fires, maybe you want to exit the trade. Maybe you want to immediately reverse the trade. Maybe you want to try to jump that thing up to break even and just guard your position. And maybe you just want to do nothing. We're going to go to exit right there. Then we have some filters. You have verify with increasing volume, verify with stacked imbalances, verify with delta momentum, pivot points, session delta, L2, so that would be like the L1 delta, session delta, that would be level 2 delta, N wave, level 2 force. That's a particular condition that we found whenever building this, building the L2 delta. Barb found that particular condition and found it to be very prominent. We got, and verify with chart indicators. This is one of the newer features that came out in version 7. When we introduced the API, and the API would allow third-party indicators to interact on your chart and be part of your signal library. That way you could customize your own strategy, add your own indicators to CoPilot Pro, and be able to use that in conjunction with our order flow signals. Now let's go through your order flow signals.
5G network is expensive? Think again. This season, bring
I'm listening to YouTube here, and there's a little advertisement. That's an advertisement right there. No particular cost. Let me turn it off. All right. Now let me get back to where I was at. Let's go into our. Oh, we got 2 of these here. Let me remove one of them. Okay. Now, let me load that template again. Sorry. I just realized there was two instances there. Okay. Now let's get back to where we're at. We're going through the filters, and let's go and get into the signals. It starts right here with a PB reversal. You got a PB bulldozer. I'm not going to go over the order flow, all the order flow signals and what they are. But you can do that on your own. That's readily available. A lot of this stuff is readily available, standardized order flow signals. Now, every one of them has our own interpretation on them, because there's no industry standard that says this exact parameter here and this exact parameter there, and that's the there it is, that's the standard. There's really nothing like that. We went through and took the norms and back tested the norms and ran statistical analysis till we found something that was what we wanted and felt comfortable with. And Barb was very particular about all that, and he formulated all these. So they all have our own little twist on them, our own little formula to them. But they are overall just some industry standards, and some of them are unique to B4. But here they are: the PB reversal, bulldozer, above or below the POC, which is the point of control. Delta divergence. This is actually one of my favorite right here. Delta divergence. Delta tail, delta surge, or delta drop, delta flip. The exhaustion signal. I like exhaustion signals. Those are exhaustion prints. A lot of your professional traders, whenever you watch them, they'll look for exhaustion. They'll look at the footprint charts. They'll look at the volume profile charts. They will look at that and find out where the exhaustion print is at, and they're very interested in that. I have it selected here. We have volume sequencing, volume area gap, use delta sweep, cluster 3. I don't use cluster 3 a whole lot, guys. Cluster 3 happens so often that I almost consider it a false positive. So I don't usually have cluster 3 selected. Use session divergence. Trap traders. Trap traders is a very nice. Oh, you can only see the wrinkle bars. You can't see the Peter. You can't see the Well, if you can't see that window, let me do this. Let me go ahead. Let me cut this short. Let me go in, apply, and enable. Tell me, guys. Okay. Tell me if you can see it here on the right side of my chart on chart traders. On the chart trader. Let me see. It's loading right now. Give it a second to load. Can you see it now? Okay, you can't see the chart trader interface. You know what? It may be different on the view may be different. Okay, so wait a minute. Let me go here. So it's showing differently on my. I'm streaming it somewhere else. Let me stop the streaming here. Let me do this. Let's see if that does. How about now, guys? Can y'all see the chart trader now? Thank you, Rain. Appreciate that. I'm sorry, guys. I was sharing and it didn't have the whole screen. My most humble apologies. Well, all of that I was talking about, that was available. That's in the back end as well, but you can also access all that stuff live here. So let me just do a quick recap of what I was talking about. This is where we were talking about with the arm, single, once a day, continuous, so on and so forth. This was the trending, the auto, the ranging. We have a machine learning here too. Machine learning right here, and you could select that and it'll choose from all of the stuff that you have selected. It'll find the best combination of that when you train it right here, boom, and give you it'll allow a threshold to come through. You set the threshold and it'll allow those signals to come through, and that's very nice with the machine learning. Here is our opposite signal actions, the break even, the reverse, the none. We're going to put it on exit. This was the long and short signals. We're going to let both of those, allow those to come through. Here is where you are setting up with either all signals, which is very rare. You won't hardly ever have any trades, but there'll be high confidence if you do that. One or more signals, at least three. We're going to let it be at least three. So it's going to, if I have three of these selected, or four or five or whatever, as long as three of them fire on a candle, it's going to allow it to come through. We were going through, I think we were at our exhaustion signal. We talked about that. We have our contrarian, our confirmed imbalance. This is one of our, early on we were just using the imbalances when we first started the CoPilot series, and we only had one or two signals, and one of them was an imbalance and one of them was a confirmed imbalance. We did some back testing and found a condition that when that imbalance happened, that it really seemed more direct, more strength to with the certain conditions. So we created a confirmed imbalance. We got session divergence, session flip. Another custom signal that we have is the B4 bar pullback. Now, something that's going on right now on your chart is you see that this is grayed out. Chart indicators is grayed out, and indicators right there is grayed out. Those are the two things that are going to be picked up by our API. And because we don't have anything on here, we don't have any of those indicators here. That's not picking up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to add an indicator. We're going to go in and we want to go into our add-ons, and I want to add the B4 wave. There it is right there. Now I have choices, and I hope you guys can see the choices. It should be opened up in the window here. B4 CoPilot Pro integration. I wanted to use the B4 entry signals enabled, use the trend signals, use the pullback signals, and have the B4 confirmation signals enabled. I'm not going to really go through all of the other stuff here for the B4 wave. I'm going to describe it on the screen. I'm going to hit OK. And our B4 wave is there. Now we can see that the B4 CoPilot Pro still hasn't changed. You see it's still grayed out here. The chart indicators is grayed out and the indicators is grayed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck that, and I'm going to refresh my screen. Let's see if it picks it up. All right. We got something. If first you don't succeed, you try again. Now you see that chart indicators is available, and indicators is highlighted. Boom. Now, one of the unique features about B4 CoPilot Pro is that you can do visual back testing. Now, right now, we got a bunch of signals everywhere. I'm going to zoom in on that. We can see quite a few entries there. You'll see, before we talk about those, I want to talk about the wave just a little bit and how these signals work with the chart indicators, and then we'll go through and kind of filter some of these signals out. The chart indicators is there's a couple things that we selected in the B4 wave. One was the pullback entries. One was if it just crossed over the trend, basically the trend entry, if it crossed over the line entry. And I'll just talk about those two things really. These little PBs are all pullbacks. Those are re-entry opportunities in the market. This major line that you see here from the B4 wave, that is a trend line. When you're above, of course, you're bullish. When you're below and it's red, you're bearish. When it's flat, you're basically neutral. Okay. This dotted line is where you can use a stop loss. So you can actually connect your Ninja Trader out. You could, let's say that you had a multiple layered position, 2 contract, 3 contract position going. You could attach one contract to the trend line here, one contract to the stop loss here, and then manually hover your other one. Or maybe you can put 1 here and 2 here. It's up to you, however you want to do that. You don't have to use it at all, but just use it for manual a visual guidance and move your stop as it grows. You can do that as well. But going back, you have chart indicators. That's going to pick up the signal that's initiated from this. One of them would be the trending signal. When it crosses over the line, it gives a B4 wave signal. The other signal that it'll generate is the pullback signals, and we have that selected internally as options to recognize in B4 wave. Now what that does is that adds this to your library. It adds that signal to this library that can be filtered by this. Now, the other element of it is some indicators. This particular indicator has a trend line, and it has pullback and regular buy signals. Some indicators may not have all that stuff. Some indicators may just be a super trend. It may be a moving average. Some indicators may just be a moving average. It may be like a 50 moving average, or a 32 moving average, 20 moving average, period moving average. And you can take the API if you have the code. Really simple to integrate it, and especially with AI. I do most of my stuff with AI these days. Add that in there and tell it to use the spec off of B4 indicators.com. Abide by the spec and add this to the code. It'll do it. I do it all the time. Anyway, this particular filter right here is just for basically a line, a trend line. When it crosses over, on the upside it's bullish, on the downside it's bearish. That's what it's for. In this particular instance, I have it turned on and I have chart indicators turned on. So it has to be above, and I got to get a signal from my indicator. Any questions so far? All right, we're going to move right ahead. Now, you see how I have a bunch of signals here. Now, yeah, that can be look like a hot mess, but that can be advantageous to you. Some people aren't as good of traders, so there's different variations of different style traders that come in here. Some guys may not have confidence in re-entering. They may be they'll get in profit and they'll trail it too tight and they'll get stopped out. And then what happens is, most of the times, if you don't have other opportunities, they have to stay out of the market until it flips, and then they want to get in another direction. Well, if you do have that problem, then having it set up like this with a lot of signals coming through may be advantageous to you. Let's say that you get into a trade. Let's say we got in right here, and man, you see what's coming. Oh no, we're coming up to a pivot high, and that's the high of day at the present time. See that cyan dot line right there? That's the high of day. That's the low of day. Let's say that you got in here and you wasn't really experienced and you wasn't sure, and you stop yourself out right here. Yeah, okay, that happens, and that could happen to me too. But boom. One good thing about order flow is it's live. It's getting these signals as the orders are hitting the tape. It's live confirmation. Now, you can see in this particular instance here that we had a delta divergence, we had a session divergence, and we had an unfinished auction. Guys, a delta divergence is basically who's controlling this market. When delta divergences happen, I love those signals. Another signal that I like, and one of my personal favorites, is an unfinished auction. What an unfinished auction is, and if you don't know, an unfinished auction is whenever you have a bunch of heavy hand participants and they're trying not to be seen. It's kind of like they put an iceberg order in or whatever. That order's there and it's just sitting there waiting there, and it's full of contracts. What that means is, if price comes back to there and hits there, boom, there's still orders waiting typically. And it acts like a guardrail, if you would, a guard So if we come back, boom, it's probably going to push. It's more than likely going to keep pushing. Not always, but it has high probabilities. And boom, and boom, and boom, and it just keeps on giving here. Keeps on giving with these unfinished auctions. That's a good sign. Now we lost some momentum. That's a telltale that, hey, we're running out here. We've lost momentum. We're weakening this move. No more unfinished auction. There was an unfinished auction somewhere in this bar, and we wore that out. And then we start going down. Now we came in here again. And like I said, unfinished auctions don't always 100% work. That trade lost. That trade lost. But we started looking at where we're at in relation to price. And there's where we had our double top at right here. A little micro double top. So that's about as high as the market was wanting to go that day. Now let's come in here. Any questions, guys, before I go any further? All right, let's take this. Let's take the. Well, before I take it off of here, let's do a filter on it. Let's put one of the good advantage of this is you can live filter it. I'm gonna go ahead and put pivots on them. You can do live visual back testing very simply. All right, now if you remember, we had a bunch of bunch of signals throughout here.
The season is heating up.
Now you look here and we don't have that. What you have now is very minimal compared to what we were looking at. This is typically a setup for more experienced traders using this pivots. Pivots are amazing. And they really provide really nice clean signals. This is a secret tool that Barb has been using for 25 years or whatever it's been. It's one of the things that he cut his teeth on, was taught as a child. Barb comes from a family, I'm not going to give you all the details, but his entire family are bankers. Some of the largest institutions in the world. And that was one of the things he was playing with, taught as a child. I mean, we're sitting there playing with building blocks and crayons. Barb's out on the sidewalk with a piece of chalk drawing candlesticks. Oh, that's a doji. Oh, that's a hanging man. Oh, that's a shooting star. I mean, Barb's doing that at 6 years old. I always pick on him about that. But you can see that filter, that pivot filter. Let's just go back and take a couple looks. Now it's not going to go on overnight. So how can you tell where the session is? We're looking, see these lines right here, without going in and straining, trying to figure out the time and everything. You can look here on your CoPilot Pro. We have an option to turn on these bull bear lines, and what they are basically this. And if you don't know, this is the mean. You hear people talk about trading revision to the mean. Well, this is what we consider the mean. Anything over that, and we try to keep things clean and straightforward. Anything over this green line is considered a bullish breakout. Any price action below here, we consider a breakdown. And where is price likely to return to and go back to? That would be the mean. This is like if you were, if you know gas at $2 a gallon, and you were under a certain administration, and the gas prices were raising and raising, and inflation was raising and raising. It was way up here. If it ever came back down, you'd expect it to be, you'd have like a muscle memory kind of. You'd have a memory. Hey, I remember when gas was $2 a gallon. Well, that would be your mean, and that's why price usually returns back to the mean. It was way discounted here. Everybody down here was getting a sale. This was the Black Friday sale right here. And it returned back to regular price. And you'll see price kept coming back to that area. And as it would return and bounce back, it would come back to that area. Look at that. Look how price reacts to that area. Comes back to it, comes back to it, diverts from it, comes back to it, pulls back to it, comes back to it, comes back, can't get away from it. Talking about a couple other things with our system, part of B4 CoPilot is the trend background. This is a very accurate background situation here. You could actually strategize it. Enter a trade right when the trend background at the close of the candle. Stop loss is here. Your pivot low in this position. See if you got a 1-to-1. Did you get a 1-to-1? Yes. Here, no, that one failed. Did this one work? Not necessarily, but let me show you a little something that we do and typically use here in our trading that helps us to do better. Basically, let's take, and I don't use the tools a whole lot, but let's use the forgive me here for my not being able to use, I don't use a lot of these NinjaTrader tools. I'm looking for, is it the risk to reward? Would that be the better one to use? Yeah, okay. Let me ratio 1-to-1. Okay. So you enter right here. There's your stop loss right there. When you get about halfway up in the profit right here. Let me go ahead and draw a line right there. When you get about halfway into profit, what we typically do is, I'll draw another line. We'll come in right here and we'll close that out and pull that up and guard profit, pay for the trade. Once you move about half of your initial risk in the profit, guard your position, make it pay for itself. Leave some room, but make it pay for itself. In this particular instance, depending on where you considered halfway, if you considered halfway here, then that trade just walked itself out. And that's probably right. Let's just do a little exercise here. We're saying right here. Does Control Z work on this thing? No, it doesn't. I'm gonna move it back. Well, I messed that up. I'm not gonna go through the exercise here, but basically it probably would have been here or a little more, and that would have worked out. You'd had a nice trade there. If we look at that principle, and I'm just gonna delete this, clean this up a little bit. Look at that same principle. I think you get the idea. Let's look at the same principle here. That got us in. Did we make the trade? No, we got stopped out. Did this work? Yeah, this paid for itself. We got stopped out. We made money. Got stopped out. This paid for itself. This made money. This stopped out. And this is how you can do a visual back test. Always use the same technique, the same rule, and apply that to your trading as well. Yep, that worked. Notice during the chop here, we didn't get any signals. That's a good thing. Yep, that would have worked. Yep. This one, actually, you never moved up. You never moved your stop loss. This actually worked. You sweated on this one if you abided by the rules totally. You sweated on this one, but then it hit another signal and it won. Not easy to do, granted, but if you were rule driven and disciplined, then you did good on that. What I was saying is I was talking about these lines a while ago. You could tell the sessions. Here's a session right here. It's started the line, ended the line. There's a session. Starting of the lines, end of the lines. There's a session right there. And you can go through and do a visual back test. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Any questions, guys? All right, I'm going to take the wave off. Indicators. So all we have now is the B4 CoPilot Pro. Now you can see again, there it is, not selected here and not selectable there because we don't have an indicator on here. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to put an indicator on the chart. One that, we have the two that have the, and we have another one. We have B4 check out consolidation box. I'm going to show you that in a little bit too. And it's something we're going to be releasing here in a couple days after this thing tonight. I talked to Barb. He said, yeah, Chuck, just work it, go through and look at it for me, check it for me, and I'll go ahead and release it. It's another very nice indicator that those of you who follow us and you know that I'm very, very much into Ichimoku. I cannot trade without Ichimoku. I have to have it. I depend on it. I haven't illustrated that here tonight, but I always have supplementary charts open, and I'm always using Ichimoku. And we teach in our B4 AMP classes how to use Ichimoku for forecasting. Very, very important. Guys, yeah, you can look at price. You can see where price is right now. You can see price action. You can use the order flow, know what's hitting the tape. But do you have an idea of what's going to happen in the future as a forecast? Very important. And I use the Ichimoku for my forecasting. We have on with us tonight a couple of very successful traders that I'm so happy that I've been able to teach them how to use the Ichimoku. I take a lot of personal pride in that I've helped somebody with that. God's really blessed me in that department, and I'm really happy that I could help others to use that and learn that. Here we are with the B4 CVD. Let me show you that. And then I actually put it on here. No, I didn't. Didn't think I did. Yeah, CVD. It's getting all emotional here, thinking about all the people that I've been able to help over the last 4 years. There we go. So we want a B4 CVD. We got entry signals enabled. I want to select that, and I want B4 confirmation signals enabled. Boom, have that on there. I want to show the CVD line. I'm going to take the label off, just like most indicators. In NinjaTrader, you want to take the label off right there. Template. I'm just going to, here we'll go ahead and use that. That's that initially. And we hit OK. It's really this simple to apply it to your chart. Now, wait a minute, Chuck. It's not picking it up. There's your gray right there. There's your gray. It's not working. No, it's working. You just got to refresh it. Hey, look at there. I'm going to check here. Boom, check chart indicators. Now, there we go. Now it's stuck. Chart indicators and indicators. Now, that's a hot mess again. Look at all those signals. I might want to use a little order flow. I might want to have some L1 delta working on my side. Now, what CVD is, it's cumulative volume delta. The best way to sum it up is if I wanted to take everything I knew about order flow and put it in one line to try to understand who's dominating the marketplace. Well, the answer to that would be to use CVD. And there it is here on your chart. So if I want to know what trending is versus counter trending is, Or is it above or below the CVD? Now it's different from VWAP. Don't get me wrong, I love me some VWAP. And I love me a Ichimoku Cinco Span B. That was VWAP before VWAP was VWAP. And I love that stuff. But if I'm looking for volume, I'm looking for market domination, and who has the highest potential to succeed, I would have to look at the CVD. Now, if I have L1 selected, not only am I looking at the CVD and got all that working on my side, I have the highest level of retail market participants. What are they doing? That's going to be level 1, basically. Level 2 is going to be more of your heavy hand participants, more of your market makers, more of your institutional order flow. There's our signals there. Let's look at the whole day, how that would have fared. So there's the start of the open, fake out in the morning, and chose their direction here. It's not really hard to see. This particular morning you would have got in here, and that would have walked a dog on you. It would have walked so fast, there wouldn't have been no chance to do nothing but make money. Didn't trade here. Traded here. Actually, what would probably happen if you had a morning like that, anybody with common sense would have done shut it down anyway. If you're not, you're battling with greed. That would have faked you out. Let's say you did that good, you lost a little bit of money. Hey, shut it down for the day. Didn't get you into anything here. Faked you out there. Yeah. You're still profitable. If you hadn't stopped yet, maybe you need to revisit your rule book. That should have been a stop for you. Even if you took all these losses, let's say that you had no discipline, had no sense, which a lot of us fall in that category. Nevertheless, this would have saved you for the day. And let's shut it down. So worst case, you made a lot of money. Or best case, you made money here and got out. Worst case is you made a lot of money, lost some of it or most of it here, and gained it back there. All this sweat equity when you could have stopped there. But you know, I've been through it. I've done it all. Yeah, I've done that before. I'm picking calling it dumb, but I've done a lot of dumb things before. Let's look at this day. Got you in right at the open. Clean move. No pullbacks here. Let's say you got out about here and decided to close it out. That would be about average. Boom, it got you back in. Let's look at our little rule that we talked about. When you get in half of what your initial stop has to be the mother candle. That's the mother candle, that's the pivot. Move into half, you guard right here. So you guard profit. More than likely you stayed in here. Or at least you shut it off. Let's say it came down in here and shut you off. At least you broke even here. Got in here, same principle applies. At least you broke even. Got in here, let's go ahead and give the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that this one worked clean because you got some nice signals up in here. Didn't pull back on you much. Made a little money. Same thing here. Got an unfinished auction, delta divergence session. That was probably a clean push. And you made money here. Let's say you got up into here before you got stopped out. Got you back in here. You had a little bit of meat on the bone. You had some money, so you could have handled a pullback here, no problem. You're already green. Psychology is probably decent enough to hold through here. And let's say you made this money. Let's say you gave some back here. And it started getting difficult here and you stopped here. That'd been a good day. Let's go to the next day. And this is what you do. You go through and you do a visual back test with the system. Let's take some of this off of here. Let's say that I only got a few signals that I'm looking for. And that's why you use the visual back test, guys. Look at what, this is my rules. This is my trade rules. This is how I'm going to initiate these trades. What works? Use the same rules. This is my rules. This is my entry. This is how I'm going to trail that thing. I'm not going to guard till I get here. What do you see? This day, nope, I got taken out here. One loss. Boom, I made my money back. I'm flat. This day, I'm flat. This would have been hard. Let's just call this a loss. Just because my psychology was off. Let's just say, okay, I could have won this, but say I lost this. Now I'm negative again. By now, I'd probably be broke even. I'd probably be still behind, but made a little bit of money on this one. And this is realistic. Here, yeah, okay, I would have done okay. I'm break even here. All this opportunity here I could have made money. So I would have been break even here. And this would have been pocket. Probably realistically shut down right up in here where it started getting hard. So that much profit that day. With some sweat. But yes. And that's how you go through and you do your visual back testing. Any questions, guys? This is our B4 CoPilot Pro version 8. I've showed it to you with both the B4 wave indicator and the B4 CVD. We have another indicator I wanted to go ahead and show you tonight that we're going to be releasing. It's still in the development. That's the Chico Bands Pro. Entry signals, confirmation. I don't know if Barb even has that wired in. I'm going to take it because I don't use it like that. Well, let me see if he does. Would call it out. Yeah, I don't see it. Do I have it selected? Yeah, I got that selected. Yeah, he started putting that in, and I don't know if he finished that or not. Maybe he didn't. But I'm going to get him to work on that. Let's go ahead and look at this. I know it's going to work with the above and below. It's clear that it's working there. Let me slow down a little bit. My computer's getting having brain fog here. There we go. Let me let it catch up just a little bit more before I start touching. There we go. Okay. You can see these bands right here. This there's a phenomenon that I noticed in the market with the Chico. It's really one of the first, you have discoveries. You learn things from indicators, and you read it and you learn it, and it's all great. But whenever you find your own techniques, that's when it gets good. One of the first techniques I learned with Ichimoku was how to use the Chico. Before then, I was using the MACD and the stochastic oscillator and the RSI to try to figure out overbought and oversold. And boy, it'd be oversold, and it would keep on going oversold and keep on going oversold and keep on going oversold. I'm like, what's happening here? Then it would be overbought, and it'd keep on being overbought and overbought and overbought. I didn't know what was happening, and I would call that turn burn. I would get burned. I would get tore up on the turn, what I thought was the turns. Until I learned how to use the Chico. I'm sitting there watching the Chico, and the Chico is getting closer to price. And I don't have it here because we're using these B4 bars here. Chico is starting to get closer and closer and closer to price. And I noticed whenever it got within a certain amount, first it was so far away from price, then it started getting closer, and we've been in a nice unbalanced move, either up or down, whichever way. And I noticed Chico getting close. When it got close to within a certain area, I was measuring it. It started out here, and it's like 1/3 of that. When it gets about 1/3 of what the initial separation was, man, that's where it's at. That's where we're getting overbought or oversold. And I thought I done found something that nobody ever seen before, and I was so happy about it. And I was actually, it improved my trading so much. I started reaching back 9 candles and finding a high and low of that Chico and drawing a box. And that box is where I didn't want to trade at. I wanted to stop my trade, trail my trade, and let it take me out. And then I don't trade until it either continuations, breaks out of that box, going in the same direction, or reverses. That was one of the first techniques that I learned on my own with Ichimoku. And here it is, right here. Consolidation. We break out of consolidation. We have it set up with these choice signals. I want one or more coming through. And there's our entrance. Very clean. Very nice. Got to that area of consolidation. There's my consolidation box. I reached back 9 candles. I found the high and low of those 9 candles, which actually ended up being 1/3, which I was looking at anyway, and I found out later that they use 9 in Ichimoku. It's one of their numbers. Now I find a high and low of the last 9 candles. When we get to that certain condition, I draw a box. And we don't trade till we break out of that box. You could put your initial risk at the opposite side of the box, or you could put your initial risk at the middle line of the box, whatever suits you better. Most people's risk appetite is only going to allow you to guard behind that midline. But there was the bullish signal, fired bullish. And this one I put the sound effects in it. It has a little beep like a submarine on the bullish signal, and a ricochet, pew, on the bearish signal. But a very nice indicator. We're going to be finishing this up and releasing this with all you guys. In fact, let me take a screenshot. All you guys can reach out to me during the week if you want this indicator, and if you want the some of our ATMs. We have some pre-built ATMs. Reach out to me this week if you want them, guys. I'll give them to you. Just reach out. Any questions, guys? This is a very nice little indicator. When you see, let's say I was in a position here and I'm trailing. I don't need to really do anything until I see this box form and shoot down. When it shoots and forms on me, I need to start guarding my position. Okay, so we have a question here from Peter. Are these trades automated? Well, the answer is yes, they have automated entries. CoPilot Pro Auto Energy. Now, the way that you take advantage of complete automation is you use the ATM strategy. That is provided by NinjaTrader. Now, we have some preferred ATM strategies that's what I was talking about. I can give you those. If you sign up with us, we give you those to where it can be completely automated. Now, do I trade it all completely automated? The answer is no. Because I know what I'm looking at. I know where my support and resistance at. I'm an experienced trader somewhat, and I make discretionary calls. I'll move in the profit, and mostly using the rules I told you there with the stop loss. Yeah, the stop loss and everything is automated, and it's a very nice system for the market volatility. However, I always like to use discretion and common sense. Oh no, there's never repainting. That is a curse word. Barb almost reached across the internet and slapped me the first time I said repaint. What do you mean repaint, Chuck? I would never build anything to repaint it. No, none of this repaints. The other question is it only available to NinjaTrader? Well, no, and the answer is, so we have some that are only available through NinjaTrader, like CoPilot Pro. CoPilot Pro has features in it. It's a strategy, and that strategy does not allow you to work in other platforms like TradingView and Thinkorswim or something like that. Now we may be moving to a couple other. We have our eye on ATOS, and we have our eye on Quant Tower, and we have our eye on some automation going through Alpaca. But we haven't made that move yet. We probably will in the near future, especially with our renewing our offerings on our prop firm and stuff. We're really looking at ATOS, a partnership with them. Hey, you're welcome, man. Thank you for the questions. But we do have stuff available on TradingView. We have a lot of our Ichimoku tools. I didn't go over any of that stuff tonight. Let me see something. Let me see if I can open up. Now, I don't know if I can do this. I'm taking a chance here. Minimize that. Come on, Ninja. Let me do it this way. Let me open up TradingView there. I don't have all of my tools over in this version because I use it on the other computer. I was looking at that. Let me see if I have any of my tools here. Nope, I don't have my invite-only tools, my scripts. I may have show you. So I was working on and KISS. Those are two of my nicer indicators. Let me see if they work. Yep. Guys, can you see my TradingView chart? Okay, let me show you some of our Ichimoku tools real quick. I wasn't planning on doing this, so bear with me, guys. I'm just kind of impromptu. And I just so happen to have two of our tools that I was working on, and I don't have them in this login profile, all of my tools, but I just so happen to have, this is one of our Ichimoku tools. I'm gonna, for fun, I'm going to turn off right now to show you. And I see that Small Time Fries on there. Hey, Small Time, how you doing, buddy?
Chuck, actually, I'm in a flight, yeah, but it's great to be able to catch. I didn't think I would be able to. That's really good, yeah.
Yeah, don't cause the plane to crash or nothing, buddy, okay?
Right.
Keep on. All right. Hey, but Small Time, you can attest to the power of these KISS dots.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that even not just a 3-minute time frame, even for swings.
Oh, it is incredible for swing. It is an incredible tool for swing trading. Guys, Ichimoku principles are mainly about timing. And these little dots that you see here on your chart, these They don't, of course, they don't reprint. Let me answer that. The question was, none of our stuff repaints. This is about timing in the market. And everybody talks about price is king. Price. But you can't take away from price. I get it. Volume is key too. But timing. Some people say timing means nothing. I hear some of these professional traders, and they're talking and they're downplaying time and they're laughing at timing. Well, I got a question for those guys. I want to borrow $1 million from them. And if timing means nothing to you, then that's even better for me. I want to pay it back in 150 years. Now, either you're going to eat your words or you're going to give me $1 million and expect me to pay it back in 150 years. Timing is crucial. And what these dots represent is a certain series of timing. And you can almost time when people are going to start sweating, when pressure starts building on people. In certain situations, financial situations, who's got what at stake, timing starts getting critical. And this represents the first wave in that time. Let me turn on. It's after a TK cross. Yep, there's a TK cross. According to Hosada, at about 9 candles after a TK cross, price is supposed to kiss or touch the Tinkinson. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. It actually touched at the 7th candle. That white line, if you don't know, that's the Tinkinson. This gold line, that's the Keejenson. That's the Tinkinson. That would be considered a TK cross. There's the first candle. We start counting at 3. See, we teach here at B4, we teach how to count candles. An average push is 5 candles for a trend. A hard push is 9 candles. An average pullback is about a 3 candle pullback. Okay, with that in mind, if price is supposed to touch at 9, I want to be aware at 3. At 3 candles, I need to be guarding that position. Trailing. Boom, it took me out at the opportune time. Let me just draw a little line. There's our stop loss. We put it in place when that kiss dot starts firing. We trail. Perfect execution. Counter trend play. Where's the target? 3 candles. Back to the Tinkinson rather. In this particular instance, it went all the way down. It was a complete reversal. TK cross. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We expect it to come back and touch the Tinkinson by 9. It touched by 6. Then it rejected. Now, let's look at it on a bigger scale. Here we are here, TK cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It touched by the 7th. Found support. Now, it touched by the 7th here. But by the 26th candle, we expect it to touch the Kijun. 23, 24, 25, 26, it touched by the 27th. Now that's just a rule of thumb. It's not an exact science, and it's across all marketplaces, all instruments. Could be crypto, could be equities, could be options. You're doing your options. It could be whatever market. It's a general rule. 926 strategy in Ichimoku. Now we're using it on a 3-minute chart here. And just like Small Time said, yeah, that may be a couple $100. How does it work on swings? It's going to work even better on swings. TK Cross. 6 candle. 7, 8, 9. There's the touch. Actually didn't touch, but hey guys, that is close enough for the girls I date. And we expect by the 26th for it to come back and touch here. It didn't touch, but the pullback happened. This would be considered wave 1, wave 2. This is wave 3. Notice the color of the dots: light pink, red, dark red. That's so you can distinguish what part of the trade you're in. Now, when we get here, this is typically the end of the run. Typically in Ichimoku, you're going to have 3 waves. Now, what I do here is, and what I do with this methodology, basically is, I don't start trading until we cross the last dot. If I'm going to re-enter, the conservative re-entry is when we cross this last dot. The conservative re-entry is when we cross this last dot. Now this is riskier. This is your best move right here, typically. The initial thrust and this thrust are usually your best moves. So if those are your best moves, that's where your most money needs to go. Less money goes to this. More money here, more money there. Riskier, less money. A lot of times this gets into chop and you get your reversal out of it. In this particular instance, what I do when I get here is I look for the next 3 candles after these fire, this cluster. And I'm looking at the Tinkinson and Kijunson, and I'm looking at the cloud. Now, one of the things here is we have the show you dots. The promise that I can see here is it looks like the Cinco span B is going to turn up at about 8 to 10 candles. If that does happen, then price is going to take off. This line is facing up. This line is facing up. This line is facing up. This line is slightly up. So they're all in my favor. Whenever I'm live trading, a lot of you guys will hear me say that Everybody put your hands up. This is a bank robbery. Or if they were all facing down, everybody down on the floor, this is a bank robbery. However, this trade really isn't that pronounced here. We know that it's bullish, but I probably wouldn't be interested in re-entering this trade until something like this. What I'm looking for, if price gets below the Tinkerson, you can use that Tinkerson as an immediate trend line. If price gets below that, in between the Tinkerson and the K, especially around these third set of dots, that's the end of the game for me. I'm usually not interested anymore. Now, sometimes it'll keep on going, but for the most part, it's showing weakness in the market. Like right there, if it closes below, it didn't close below there. It kept on going. Now I'd be interested in a position. How would I grade the position? Well, I could either reduce the risk. This is this dotted line right there. I could either start right there, or I could start right here with the Keynesian. That's the traditional way to actually one tick below. Do a 1-to-1. Minimum. There's the 1 right there. You always want to do about a 1-to-3 if you can, 1-to-5 if you can, of course. But cheek out trail, principle that I teach. Those of you who are members here understand what the cheek out trail is. This is a good launch point. Right here. See how the price curve right here is setting up. Cheek out is adamant in following the emotions of the price that happened right before it. So what we're looking at is that right there. You can see the height from here to here. I expect that height to go from here to here. I'm expecting at least that much of a move. That's my 1-to-1. Boom. See these dots? See how these dots are moving? See how this has moved in our favor? That's a good sign. When we see those show you dots moving, the status quo has changed. What I typically do is whenever I see the show you dots move, now I know my risk parameters have changed. My initial risk that I put on at first, now the conditions changed. The status quo is no longer the same. I'm in a position to reevaluate. I can minimize my risk now. Those dots are moving. See these show you dots? They're moving in my favor. I know that my initial risk has changed. I can lock that in. I can pay for the trade. There's nothing better in a trading environment than a risk-free opportunity. And there it is. Boom. Now the dots are flattening out. This shows in about 2 more candles we should have some movement. So what I can do is guard a little more. Now, of course, I won't limit this opportunity. You want it to be 1-to-3. I'll just leave it at 1-to-1 for a stick. Now, you see this line right here? This is the quality line. This green line here. It's how to tell the quality of the cloud. It's getting close now. We're in a hyperbolic state right now. They're both laying up. This looks like it's going to go up. This looks like it'll eventually flatten out. So I'm going to go ahead and guard here. My KISS line fired. See this red line right here? That says it's likely to start pulling back. So I'm already guarding this. I've already exhausted my last set of kiss dots, so I'm not going to see any more kiss dots. But this may be the end of wave 3. Classic Ichimoku, you want to stay in the trade as long as you are above or below, beyond, let's use the word beyond the Tinkinson. See this point right here, high point right there? That's a potential cheek out trail launch point. It could launch from here. This shows it could turn up. This shows it could turn up. So I'm pretty confident that I'm going to make some more gains right here. I'm going to go ahead, tighten that up. If it takes me out, that's a good trade. And this is a swing trade. This is swing trading. This is a lot of money. This looks like it's going to move up. This looks like it's going to move up. This looks like it's going to move up. If that does happen, we're in a good position. I'm going to go ahead and leave it where it is. We've made a lot of money. Boom, it did move up. We can guard. Excellent swing trading system. This looks like you have some more room. There's plenty of room here with the quality line. If this flattens out, though, whenever the major Ichimoku, the Hane lines flatten out, price gravitates back to them. So if we see that this is flattening out and this is flattening out, we're going to have to guard our position. They haven't flattened out yet. Now, they're starting to flatten out. See how it flattened out here? That flattened out. You need to guard your position. This is classic Ichimoku. With a twist, we have an advantage here with these shoyu dots. Basically, whenever we were doing this, I told Barb, I said, Barb, with the formulas that I'm seeing with Ichimoku and their relation to where current price is at, I could take that formula and reverse engineer that backwards and pretty much paint line by line what price is doing according to these lines. And I can do that with about an 80% accuracy, Barb. I said, Barb, if I can do that backwards 80%, I can do it forwards 65 to 70%. No way, Chuck. Well, yes way. It actually works. All right, our kiss line's firing. That red line you see right there. This is still flat. This looks like it'll recover, but just in case, we probably would guard somewhere right up in here. We're still making money. We're still leaving some room.
When you're out in the wild.
All right, that candle closed below the Tinkinson. According to Ichimoku rules, that's where we get out at. We'll go ahead and guard right up under the close there. And that takes us out. That's a beautiful example of a swing trade using the kiss dot and the shoyu. So the question was that led us here was, is this the only tools and only platform? No. Now we are going to port these over to NinjaTrader. The kiss dots are ported over, but the shoyu isn't. We'll probably do that here at the beginning of the year. Any questions, guys? All right, everyone. Thank you for your attention. We appreciate you very much. Thank you for being the best part of B4. Be sure to take advantage of our Black Friday sale. This is the only time of the year where we open up the vaults and we allow you to get these deep discounts. It's a 65% discount on our tool packages. We have our B4 Amp Trader education package included free. It's a year-long education package, very in-depth, very intuitive, very detailed. We have a lot of pre-recorded videos like what we're doing right here to show you how to use the tools and how to use the methodologies to make sure that you have the best advantage you can have. Guys, thank you so much for your attention. We appreciate you, and we're going to go ahead and close out.